pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Earlier we had trouble.
Yeah, it won't be to the camera.
Just make a note that we're having technical difficulties at this point. Technology is wonderful as long as it works.
Must be those solar flares.
Okay.
Every time something happens at our house, that's what my husband says.
Part of that, I think. When we do the superintendent's report, is where we'll allow you to talk. That's okay. All right. Guys, you have the correct agenda at your seat when you walk in versus what was sent out earlier, and there are some amendments to it, so I need a motion to amend the new agenda.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Next is the approval of our March 14th regular meeting and the certification of the March 14th executive session. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Thank you. I believe, Mr. Myers, you're gonna abstain on this one, since you were at the meeting. Okay, any corrections to the minutes? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next is our superintendent's report.
And I would like to start off with my project.
Where would you like?
There's a podium right there if you need one. You don't have to use the podium.
This is as good a place as any. So, I'm here on behalf of Water Aerobics. My name is Mike Harbeck. And I want to thank you all for approving our reinstatement, particularly for Anne Marie. Just a couple of moments I'd like to take of your time. Water Aerobics started in 1992. And we have one lady who's been there since then, Norma Sullivan. And today when we had Water Aerobics, we had 19 people, we had 21 people, and that's with no advertising that have shown up. We're a little bit of a misnomer. It's not really aerobics as much as it is stretch. Almost everybody in that class is recommended either by a neurosurgeon, like for myself, or by a chiropractor, physical therapist, because what we do is stretch. And the exercises we do help people with back problems, knees, hips, arms, all that kind of stuff. That's our primary focus. We do get some aerobics out of it, but we're not doing swimming laps. We're not in the Jane Fonda area where it's no pain, no gain. That's not our issue at all. So we're just there to perform, if you will, and to help the senior community, but we do have a few younger people. And again, my primary purpose is to thank you and clear up any misconceptions you may have of what we do. We're certainly nonprofit. We're not even a formalized group. We do ask for a free will donation of $1 per time per person, and that's going to help pay for the insurance. And when that's done, then the funds will go to Norma Carpenter, who helped form the group in '92. She's a physical education instructor here, and we've purchased various things for the pool area with those funds in the past. So it's a very inexpensive way for people to be involved. Do you have any questions about what we do?
Mike, how many days a week are you?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're at 9 o'clock right now. And we're certainly adaptable to the school schedule, and particularly when you have tornado drills, just call us and we'll cancel, so we're not in your way. So we had an issue one year, and it was just, we were in the wrong place at the wrong time, so. Something about naked women and kids, I forget how that all worked out. But anyway, we're more than willing to work through the school. We really do appreciate the opportunity, and it is unique. I'm a hardback, I'm not a hard nutback, so I'm not a local. And this is something I've found that is really unique to your community. You know, I know Florida also has a setup like this, but I think ours is a little better deal. So I thank you very much.
I just want to thank you for, getting the insurance and basically helping us to come up to what we need to do too, so we can have a community in there. And I appreciate that, what you've been doing, to make it happen.
As I understand it, it was when it was built, it was a community pool issue, if you will, part of the selling process. Not getting about school, getting the bonds through and all that kind of stuff. So I think this is a way to get back, particularly to the seniors in the community, but it's not just seniors. So again, thank you.
For working with us.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple items here. In your packet was the cybersecurity contract. We actually voted on this already, but at the time, we didn't have a clean copy of that. Mr. Otis went back and forth with a couple different little teeny things, so I just felt that you should have the actual final one since we voted on it already. And it was $5,443 when we voted on that for this bill. So there's no voting necessary, just wanted you to have it. Next, the math textbook adoptions. They are, where are they?
They're all on the back corner, all spread out.
Okay, oh, we got some there, some there. We are in the process of adopting math textbooks for the corporation this school year. The teams, the committees for each building have been doing an amazing job, working very hard. So we brought the textbooks over because before the next board meeting, if anyone would like to look at them, they're here tonight. They will get moved to central office, so if anybody in the community would like to come in and look at the textbooks prior to next month's board meeting, please feel free to come on in. So I just wanted to make sure everyone full disclosure where they're at.
How many different companies you have to narrow down to?
One, we actually have our final choice, so,
And what company is it?
what was that company, guys?
It's McGraw-Hill.
It was McGraw. And I think did we go, we went K through 12, or wait, K through 8, the same.
The high school ended up choosing the same one as well. That's what they sent down as well. So, yeah, we K through 12.
Excellent, because they didn't have their final decision until.
They had it today. They came down
Yeah,
today.
today was the day, I told them, we gotta make a decision here. So that's good, that means they'll all go through the same series.
And they have a tutor program that comes from McGraw-Hill? Is there a tutor
sorry?
program? Is there a tutor program that comes with McGraw-Hill?
What
A
program?
tutor program?
Yes, it's Alex.
Alex, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
So they will be presenting next board meeting on adoption. We wanted to look at the series. Budget calendar, this is just something I just wanted to give to the board, just to kind of get you a feel of what the upcoming board meetings will look like and kind of the process. And of course, this is going to be a document that I just keep updating as I go. So I like to have things very lined up as to where I'm at in the process, and I wanted all of you to know what's going on so that you realize that, in the July board meeting, we're going to have presentation from, utility and performance services. That's my plan, have them in to talk about stuff, just to kind of get you to understand where I'm at in the process. And then if you have questions, feel free. And like I said, I will revise this. This is year one. So obviously I'll go back and revise and say, okay, I needed to add this, and I needed to do this. So this is just information for all of you. Next is the fun stuff. Our art in the elementary has been incredible at this point. So we had several students that were regional winners, and then, I don't know what the other ones are called. Expedition, but we had Natalie Martinez in grade 2, Lila Williams in grade 2, Cooper Kreider in grade 3, Haley Walters, grade 3, Clive Williams, grade 4, Kaya Anderson, grade 5, Avery Garngrover, grade 5. I think I got them, nope, Ben Spitzler, grade 2, Hadley Mills, grade 3, McKenna Lane, grade 5. And I believe there's a presentation down in Indy, is that May 1st, I wanna say, somewhere around there?
I think it's May
Yeah,
first.
I think it's May 1st, so, but, I mean, this is the first time that I've seen us winning all these competitions on art, so I am thoroughly impressed. She is so passionate about it, so give a shout out to Ms. Barnes if you happen to see her. So, it's good to see our kids getting those experiences so young. So, that's all for me. Is there any questions on the principal reports?
What day does junior high start the island testing?
The window opens next Monday. We're gonna wait and start testing on Tuesday. Inevitably, when you test on that first day, there seem to be some kinks with the system, so we'll start on the 19th. We have plans to, go through the following Friday with the bulk of our testing. We'll have some makeups to do. The window closes May 13th, so that'll give us plenty of time to do some makeup.
Any other questions?
My turn? All right. We're going to go to routine matters, consent items. Consent items for claims and payroll for the amount of $1,433,169.45. The financial reports submitted by the treasurer. You both have in your possession there the employment of classified staff, resignations, employment of summer school staff for the elementary as well as the high schools. We will not be having middle school this year due to our construction. The fundraisers, facility use overnight and out of state. Going on, we have a lot of activities for our students. So I'd like to have a motion for consent, or for 4A, B, C, D, and E. Unless somebody wants to separate them out, I will take a motion as one whole one.
No, Mr. President, I move that we approve consent items A, B, C, D, E, as presented.
Thank you. Second. So the motion and a second. Any comments, questions on any of these items we
I have
listed?
one. It's kind of hidden in there, so I wanna make sure we do not miss it, but Karen Sawyer, who has been here maybe 32 years, is resigning, she's retiring. And I know, retiring, and I know that just from my little 11 years of knowing Karen, she's a dedicated educator, and it's gonna be quite a whole left, and I don't know what to say to Karen. Just thought, I wanted to make sure that stood out.
Yeah. Just like the facilitator, what hours is that?
Well, it's not gonna go over 20 hours a week, so we decided just to go ahead and multiply it out because it's gonna be odd hours. So for example, she'll probably be in here a lot during August and September and then may not be back. So she's gonna still be doing the daytime and Bob will make sure that we're getting the hours. And it was hard to say, she's gonna be here every week yet.
So an average, or a max of 20 hours per week and 15 5 a year.
So that's what we did, we pretty much did that. And we'll track it, so if you pay time for state quarterly accounts. So, but it works perfectly because she's gone back to school to be a teacher. So she had resigned, because she couldn't do a lot in the posted position. And she's already started training on this. She will get certified in the summer. And so it was kind of a win-win for us. Hopefully, once she gets done, she'll be a teacher. So.
And this is a mandate from the state to have this position too.
Yes, it is actually. We're supposed to have it screened twice a year, so we have to have this position, which I had us create the position in the last one.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you guys. All right. Flip the page here. There we go. Okay, under old business, what you have seen is an adjustment for actually the final quote for the kiln at the high school. We actually approved this, but the quote came in at this, is a little bit under, yeah,
This is what we had the original quote for,
yeah.
and then of course with the lovely inflation of things happening, this is the new amount on certificate.
Yeah, so before it was $4,035, and now we're going to $4,282.50. So we'll need a motion to amend our previous amount to Brickyard Ceramics for the kiln for the amount of $4,282.50. And this will be coming out of the bond.
I move to amend the previous amount for the DCHS kiln up to $4,282.50 for the new price.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. All right, got a motion, a second. Questions? On it?
Is there a reason they didn't honor the original quote, was it outdated?
Well, it's interesting. I have been checking POs and it came across, and I noticed that it actually was 5,000 something. So of course I caught my eye quickly. So I guess whoever gave the original quote did it incorrectly. Supposedly, I don't know, Mr. Dces was talking to me, that whatever the price they gave us was completely wrong. We don't know how we got that. So we did negotiate back, because I said, we're not paying 5,000, so we got down to this $4,200. So,
That's installed and everything.
yeah.
Questions? Concerns? Okay. All in favor of adjusting the quote up to $4,282.50 coming out of the bond, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You guys.
I should add, $1,000 of that was actually donated by the Education Foundation for that film. I mentioned it last time, but I wanna make sure we do it again. So, really, we're only having 3,000.
We have to pay, but that'll be reimbursed back in.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, under new business, 6A, graduation credit requirement. Mrs. Circle, would you please explain to us what we would be potentially voting on?
The high school, letters in your packet. The high school is moving to an 8-period day next year. They are currently on a 7-period day. It's helping them take advantage of the CTE, AP classes, math labs, and then still having room for the guided study. The new mandates from above the diplomas is causing an increase in CT courses that they must complete. So they're just adding some levels to this next generation F So with the increased classes, class periods, they are wanting for the incoming freshmen to, basically, it's for 440, we're gonna go from 44 to 48, because it will be easily met with that additional class every single semester. Honors diploma will go from 48 to 52, which of course will be increasing AP classes and high value classes. We are going to have a requirement for CT principals in the 9th and 10th grade, which has to happen with those new graduation pathways. Because they can graduate with academic honors, but if they get to their junior year and they get a D in one of those classes, that's gonna knock them right out of graduation. But if we have those pathways for them, that's a backup plan. So we're trying to create a fail-safe environment that everybody's gonna be okay as long as stage and during these classes.
So we need a motion for the graduation, to change actually the graduation credit requirements, as presented, on the 440 diploma from 44 to 48, honors diploma from 48 to 52. So I will actually attach this to the form, for accounts, on that. So I need a motion.
I move we change the graduation credit requirements to, the requirements as presented, because moving to an 8th grade day.
Okay, thank you.
Second that.
With a motion, a second, questions now? My question would be, Mrs. Circle, if the high school is run to 8, sometimes we share teachers down, how is that gonna align with the middle school then at this point?
When Mr. Schuler presented this to me, that was the first thing I brought up, having lived it. So I told him that they need to go to the high school principal and the guidance department and come up with some way to align this to make sure that they fit. So I'm sure Jeff can attest, Jeff's not here, but I said I would not put my stamp on it until everybody was okay.
It works out really well for us at the middle school too, because then it allows us more time to create English and math labs as well. So, and we've struggled to find time to give our kids interventions, and this allows us more of an opportunity to do that.
And the interventions too. The high school level, not speaking for Jeff because I lived it, it's extremely hard to find math interventions at the high school level. I mean, almost impossible. English is becoming more difficult as well. So now interventions with this 8-period day, the teachers will actually be certified teachers doing interventions
This will take effect next year.
for the becoming freshmen. The 8-period day will take effect.
What effect does it have on the Wednesdays for the PDs that are doing that?
Well, I think he shortened classes slightly, is what I haven't actually seen the bill schedule, to be honest, Mr. Meyer. But when I asked him about it, he said it wasn't that big of an impact, so.
With the regular day, classes are 45 minutes, where now they're 50, and then with the shortened Wednesday, they're 40 minutes instead of 45.
Thank you. Should've just looked at you and asked, instead of fumbling through it.
I just wanted to confirm with Mr. Connor, DCTA, did they have any objections or concerns with this plan?
I don't think that the schedule is in our scope of, I don't think it's discussable.
It is discussable.
It is discussable.
Yes, because it'd be a change in the work environment, because it's gonna change.
That's right, so we didn't discuss it.
We did at the high school, middle school, because I made sure they do.
Okay, well
So-
then, I mean, it probably should have gone to corporation discussion. I mean, that would, I think, you're right, it probably should have gone to corporation discussion, but I mean, at this point, I mean, hey, that ship sailed. If you've already got the schedules worked out and everything like that, I mean, there's no reason to stop it now, but
I
probably.
apologize.
No, I mean, hey, I tell you what, there's bigger things to get upset about than this. But I mean, I just think, just moving forward, that's something, because we're gonna discuss the textbooks, that's something we've not done. But definitely then, yeah, during the schedule, since it's, yeah, you know, but I think we're good with it now.
We didn't have formal discussion, we did have a lot of conversation at the middle school level, and our leadership team was part of that.
Yeah, but again, you know, you can have, I mean, I think, and I don't wanna sound condescending or demeaning, you can have all the leadership team meetings and everything like that, but if it's something that's discussable, then it needs to go through the discussion team, which is the DCTA, and we meet monthly, you know, with Mrs. Circle. That I do want to emphasize, that you can talk about whatever you want to talk about in the buildings. But if it's a discussable event, if it's a discussable item, then, you know, it needs to go through corporation discussion with Mrs. Circle. So.
Tim, if you wanna delay it,
No, I don't see a reason why.
okay, so
And if someone doesn't like it, I'm sure I'll get 5 emails and 10 text messages about it tomorrow, but to me, it's already in process, it's already moving along. Why would we want to stop it and delay it for another month? All right, I mean, to me, that would be counterproductive.
And from the discussions I've had with a few teachers, they're very supportive of this move. I just kind of was more curious about teachers.
I mean, I'll be real honest with you, no one has mentioned it to me. So maybe that's why it kind of slipped under my radar. I think if somebody would have had a problem or a concern, you know, they would have told me about it. But I've not heard anything about it. And if something comes up, we can always, you know, I mean, things change. I mean, things change and they have to be adjusted. But I don't see this as, to me, this is a non-event. You know, just the next time we'll just talk about it. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for asking.
Any other questions? Comments for Ms. Circle? Okay, we have a motion on the table about the graduation credit rate requirements, of changing those for the incoming freshmen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Let's go back page and read it. All right, the DCES parking lot repair and resurfacing. Have you seen, we have 2 quotes in there, one for Crenshaw paving for $10,440, and one from Sparks Hauling for $16,500. Is recommendation from Mr. Strebeck that we go with Crenshaw paving for $10,440. Need a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. Second? Tim? We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Just to clarify, this is DCES, this is all of the both front and back parking, and is this resurfacing or just?
resurfacing, fixing. And to be honest, I went ahead, I got a quote to Camden's parking lot. They want to tear the whole thing up and redo it, and it was, yeah, it was like way over the budget we had. So that's why I have disregard quotes on here, because at the time I thought we were going to be able to afford both. But between having the carpets and the other things that we want, we'll have to look at the tearing up the pavement at Camden. I walked it, free even getting these quotes, and I don't, unless a bus comes in there, you know, going 60 miles per hour, I mean, there's a dip. So it's something we're gonna have to put on capital projects going forward. We're gonna have a lot of those. I've got the buildings right now, trying to find capital projects. We're gonna sit
DCES parking lot repair, going with Crenshaw's for $10,440. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, guys.
Just about it, I'd like to make a comment on the parking lot, so kind of on that topic. I'd like to see about getting something done out there alongside the, batting facility. It's getting run into more and more. So, when they're discussing that in the capital projects, I'd like to see something done out there.
I think we should be able to, like, at least temporarily till we get what the right fix is. I think it'd be cheap is maybe contact Brims over there, the hog slab that they used to put down before, so they, at this point, maybe temporary, maybe at night.
Something.
But until we can get what's really right to do, but I think,
I know there's a lot of kids that are in that parking lot, but also when you go by there, if, I don't know, any of the staff or anybody ever has to go in that overhead door out there, but there's kids parking that are blocking that door too.
yeah, that's it.
And, there needs to be a perimeter there somewhat, sometime, I think. There's other places they can park. Getting tired of seeing the building ran into. I counted 3 different times now.
Wasn't you that was doing it, was it?
No,
Chris didn't slide into it.
don't want to spin up my truck.
And while we're also on paving, there is a couple spots out here, noticed out from the middle school, some potholes are starting to do, so, let's just make sure when they're in, we can get that all addressed. So, unless it's an extra $100,000.
Yeah.
All right. Now for school board information there, guys, the DCMS, 6th grade amputee, that is, next year, and that's not an overnight, is it? Oh, yes, it is, it'll be an overnight.
No,
Or not.
they changed it.
Did they change it not to?
Yeah.
No, they just go out each day.
Okay, that's fine. The DCH band, Lafayette Jefferson High School for competition on the 23rd. I might also mention that they got out of New Orleans in time when they went down there. That big storm came through, so always glad to see our kids getting home safe. DCES 4th grade Pioneer Day at the Wabash Neary Canal on 5/16. DCMS band at the Indiana Beach for a band field trip on 5/21. Mrs. Circle, I did not, we'll go down to future dates, sorry, I'll put that on. Internal transfers there, we have some thank yous. Mrs. Circle, do you wanna elaborate on those, or?
I'm actually gonna let Mr. talk. I love putting you on the spot, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's even better yet.
I like it as much as you do.
Yeah, I know, do you have the agenda?
I do not have the agenda.
Okay. Look, 2 people are here. Because they're both for your building. And I'm not sure what the first one was used
7C.
for, yeah.
7C.
I wasn't sure what the Lions Club was, I saw that come in, but I wasn't sure what it was for.
Both of those were donations for our One Book, One School program we've been running with Stuart Little. And I believe the Lions Clubs helped buy the books. Every family that attends either Camden Early Childhood Care Center or Delphi Elementary School, Delphi Community Elementary School, received a copy of the book, and we're all reading it together and doing various comprehension activities. So both of those donations helped fund that.
I think the second one also helped, Ms. Barnes, because I saw thank you for the art program, I think they donated some money to it as well.
I guess they did. I think they donated a lot of money to the other one too, though, maybe
Yeah, they did.
in another meeting, the previous meeting.
They've been very
Cause-
good supporters of
They
the-
tried, they tried, they emailed me and told me they were ready to donate another $1,000 to help with our Read Across America program, which is the one, that's what we're doing for Read Across America, is one book, one school. And I emailed them back and I said, well, thank you, but I think you already have.
Take the money. It's okay. And then also, we wanna make sure with our foundation education that they again donate that $1,000 for the kiln. And so, just kinda keeping that up. It's a great organization that supports us also. Any other thank yous that I'm missing, guys, offhand? You think of? Okay. Future dates, agenda items, the 12th. Tomorrow. The high school blood drive, the 14th, Dragon's Tail at the gym at 6:30, at the elementary, I should say, gym at 6:30 p.m. April the 25th, we will have an exec session at 6 p.m. At the actually central office. April 30th, I was wondering when that was, the prom at Vinnie Chokes. May 9th, we will have a regular board meeting at 7 p.m. May 23rd, tentatively, we have a executive session at 6 p.m. Also at the central office. Also, it may be noted about the kindergarten roundup going on here.
The 19th and 20th.
19th and 20th evening, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Board comments. Mr. Nipple, you want to start us off?
Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for attending the meeting tonight. I would like to recognize Karen Sawyer for her 32 years of service. And also, Luca Schmidt, who picked up our wrestling program after Mike left, and about 5 more weeks until into school. So I hope we finish strong. Good luck to everyone, all the kids, I hope, and done it out. That's it.
Mr. Owens.
Yeah, I'll start with thanking Mr. Harbeck for coming in and explaining a little bit about the water aerobics. I know most of us think it is just aerobics, but it's definitely a program that I remember when I was here in school that did happen, and I remember seeing all the people come in to do that. So I'm glad that our community can still work with us and take care of the situation, even though we had a little bit of a hiccup with the insurance. So I'm glad they took care of that. The elementary art kids, I did see that come through on the email. It's pretty exciting to see that our kids are being recognized for the talents that they have. So I would like to be able to see some of the artwork that they've done. The descriptions are pretty interesting, but it's not quite there for me to see it yet. But and then I'd also like to thank Karen Sawyer for all of her time here. She did teach me when I came through here, and I enjoyed all of her classes when I went through. And I know it was surprising when I got back on the board to know that she was one of the few teachers that were still here that I did have years ago. So sadly, I'm working on 20 years out. So some of those teachers were very surprised to see me here too. And then just another kind of on all these events that we've got going on, a lot of field trips and things. It's great to see the long list of activities, field trips and things that not only our kids get to do, but our community gets to do as well. So.
Mr. Priest.
I'd like to congratulate Karen Sawyer for 32 years experience. It's hard to replace that kind of experience with just the beginning teachers. Experienced teachers bring a little bit more to the plate. I think the choice from McGraw-Hill Math Textbooks is an excellent choice, especially with the ALEC program that they have with it. It's great remediation for some of our kids that get behind a little bit, so that was a great choice. I enjoyed Mike Harbeck's water aerobics explanation. I didn't know there was that many people in there, so that's good. Last, I'd like to wish all the junior high students and teachers good luck in their I-learning testing coming up in the next couple of weeks. That's stressful for everybody. They get through it.
Sawyer to thank you for 32 years of service to the school corporation. We don't get to say that very often, so. And then, just a few weeks left in school, so keep everybody safe. Prom coming up, make sure we keep our P's and P's together there. But I'll just ditto what other board members said. Nothing to say right tonight.
Mr. Smith?
Okay. I do want to thank everybody in attendance tonight. Mrs. Barnes, I definitely want to give her that shout out. It's great to see our art program rebound and have so many kids that were recognized in that regional exhibition show. That's fantastic. Also to Karen, 32 years. It's an example of hiring local, somebody that wants to stay in this community. You know, as a Delphi graduate, wanted to stay here, raise her family here, and retiring here. So perhaps a lesson for us. Luke Schmidt, just want to thank him for his service to the school for the last few years. He really did a great job and took somebody to the state this year, so he leaves here having made a mark in the school. He may be tough to replace. I want to thank also the Education Foundation, Sciotes, Delphi Lions for their continued support of various projects that we take on that don't really have a funding source, and they've always stepped up. And as we wrap up the school year, I want to wish everybody the best of luck as we head into testing and the craziness of those last few weeks. So we've had a good school year.
I will echo my fellow board members' comments, but pick out Karen Sawyer and her 32 years and congratulate her on her retirement. And also add that since the last board meeting, I did attend Ag Day. And it's pretty neat. The people that put this on and what they bring to it and how they can demonstrate what they do and how it's done is pretty neat. So I enjoyed that.
I too will basically reflect everybody what they said. And again, a special shout out to Karen. Again, you know, Mike's comment that it's always great when you have a teacher, I guess for like terminology, a seasoned teacher that can show new teachers and mentor them, even though it's not an official mentoring thing, but to bring them on board. I think them, when you lose people like that, you have sometimes a deficit, but we appreciate her very much. Lucas, again, I know he's done a great job. His even agreeing to stay on to help, I think shows his commitment of a true character of people that we'd like to see in our organization. The art, same way. I mean, it's just wonderful to see that happen. I'm glad that you talked about Ag Day, not only Ag Day for fourth graders. I also want to thank publicly for those who helped out for Ag Day for kindergarten that they had. And they brought in pigs and ducks and everything else, and I asked them if they just let them run around so they could try to catch them, but they didn't say they did. But,
It's always next year.
Yeah, people for bringing equipment, stuff like that, just kind of like the, but in a smaller thing. It was really great to see the community really embrace those things. Well, was it? I was one of our teachers, so you got a teacher, have them teach you. But anyway, I need one more motion, guys. Adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Thank you.